Juf, moet ik bij leerling N?
Let's pause for a second. These images are part of a wider study about the sense of belonging of refugee children that live in the province of Antwerp in Belgium. We will look at two of them in more detail shortly, but let's get acquainted with the overall research design first. Why did we create this study? Briefly put, because we wanted to address the fact that where refugee children are concerned, societal focus is mainly on linguistic and cultural immersion programs. Too much, we believe. This perspective seems to overshadow attention to their agency and resilience. Article 12 in the International Convention of the Rights of the Child, however, guarantees children's right to participate in decisions that affect them, wherever they are, in whatever circumstance. So, 2 years ago, we construed the experiential research project On the Road to investigate refugee children's sense of belonging and well-being, more specifically in the formal and non-formal learning environments of their host communities. We conducted participatory research with refugee children that live in 2 Red Cross reception centers and are enrolled in the primary schools that surround them. Participants are 34 children between 6 and 12 years old from over 20 nationalities. Some children lived in the center for a couple of months, some are still waiting to find out if Belgium grants them and their family asylum. We used a lot of research methods. First of all, we asked explicit consent, over and over and over again, so the children would really understand they were taking part in the research project. Secondly, we tried to create research circumstances through creative play. We provided children with materials and methods so that they would engage with us and talk about their well-being. We used participatory observation, a lot of art-based interviews and inquiry by using drawing techniques, photo voice, storytelling, a lot of group discussions and so forth. We went on excursions together, amongst others to the swimming pool, and we documented this whole process and created exhibitions at the end of each research period in which professionals and parents were involved.
I play with the piano and with the guitar,
With the guitar, okay.
but I can't use it because it's a little bit difficult for me.
Uh-huh.
And I like Barbies.
Uh-huh.
With the play with the Barbies, making a slime.
Ew!
It's so fluffy and disgusting, but it's good and it takes free stairs. And I like to draw and color and more things.
Oh, you like to cook?
Yeah,
Yeah, you
this is
told
one
that,
of my
huh?
favorite play
Yes.
things.
Meet Maisa, 11 and a half years old. She comes from Libya. At the time of the study, she lives in the reception center with both her parents and her brother. Maisa is quickly and deeply engaged in the research, shows a lot of curiosity. She likes cooking, she says, and Barbies, 2 things she showed us while we were spending time together in the reception center. But she also has a smartphone and shows us she likes computers. She's a young girl, oscillating between the interests of the children, the experiments of the teenager, and the sphere of the adult women in the reception center. But above all, she's drawn to music. Our first encounters are about music, at her instigation. When we arrive in the reception center to meet the practitioners and the coordinator for the first time, Maisa sneaks into the conference room and asks if we can show her how to play a song on the piano. Soon we discover that she combines different musical influences and that she knows how to play with them. Maisa is eager to learn and finds learning opportunities in the access she negotiates to people she can learn from. She learned a lot from her father, and she associates with a researcher, asking to bring a song she wants to play on the piano, the song Solo from Jenny. She asks for it until the researcher brings it and teaches it to her. She does not have such a persistent curiosity when formal learning is concerned. When we visit her at school, she says she does not like schoolwork. It's too difficult, and she has the impression she does not totally fit in. She has skipped some schoolwork in the preceding years, living in other countries. According to her age, she should be in the 6th grade, but she is in the 5th grade, doing work of the 4th grade. And she says she does not always have access to the learning platform Bingo, which makes it harder to follow. For Maisa, school is mostly about friends and dreaming. This is what she says when we ask her.
Wat vind jij het leukste om op school te doen?
Hier met mijn vriendin gaan dansen.
Dansen?
Ja?
Is dansen hetgeen wat je het leukst vindt? Je
Ja.
bent wat muziek vindt. Alles wat met muziek is, vind jij wel heel leuk, hè? Je hebt ook een tekening gemaakt aan muziek. Wil jij wat zou jij willen worden? Als
Zanger.
Zou je zangeres willen worden?
Ja. Dan ga ik... Ik kon een liedjes verzonnen. Maar ik weet niet welke liedje. Elke keer zeg ik aan mijn papa dat ik naar The Voice wil gaan. Maar mijn papa zegt, maar jij moet eerst oefenen. Maar ik oefen altijd. En mijn papa zegt dat dat is slecht.
Zou je graag naar een muziekschool gaan?
Ja.
En kan dat?
Ik denk na 2 maanden.
When we ask her to clarify, it's a ballet school she thinks she might be enrolled in, not a music school. She doesn't mind. Dancing and singing are both tying in with her expressive needs, modes of communication she feels comfortable with. Or, in her own words, the words she asked us to write down when choosing her favorite picture for the exhibition, the piano creates a special language. We may not understand each other with words, but we will with singing. You just saw Salem, 11 years old, and his little brother Sahel, who is 8. They fled Tanzania 3 years ago and stayed with smugglers in Spain. Since last year, they live in a Belgian reception center with their older sister, niece, nephew, and aunt. Salem has learned to take care of others from a very young age onwards, and it shows. He's often on the lookout for younger children, spends time with his younger brother and nephew, and mediates when children are fighting. Different from Maisa, he likes school and formal learning, and he's very good at it too. He likes the special language and culture class, he feels supported by his teachers and loves math, languages and sports. But primary school classes seem to have become too simple at the time of the research, and sometimes he gets bored. When he's ready with his regular schoolwork, he likes to draw. Salem is good in visual arts. Whenever we use art-based inquiry with the children, they ask him to make something. Carnival figurines? No problem. A car? A dragon? A letter? Assembling the drawings from other children and inviting parents to the exhibition, Salem takes the lead. But when he's left to his own devices, he prefers mathematical, more technical drawings. Or video games. He feels he can learn something this way. When we ask him why this is important, he says, I have to learn and become smart to help my mother in my country.
Nee. Waar gaat dat lezen? Plus, min, plus, min, plus, min, plus, min, plus, min. Dat is een rekenmachine. Dat is toch een rekenmachine?
Nee.
Tik, 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 tik. Ik ga direct hier eerst de passer. Je mag niet mijn passer zien. Nee, dat is geen erg. Maar dat is gewoon een woord. Juf, moet ik bij leerling N? Moet ik bij leerling N, hè? Hoi.
wat gaat er nu komen?
Dat is welkom betekent welkom.
Wat wil dat zeggen, welkom? Weet je wat dat betekent?
Maar dat is Engeland en dat is ook mislukt. Daar zal ik voor de kiezen. Moet ik dat ook? Ga even naar door nu. Was normaal hier om te leren, Nederlands.
Aside from his aptitude for visual arts and cognitive learning and his ample social skills, Salem is also a typical boy, who, like Maisa, dwells in the twilight zone between boyhood and adolescence. He likes to spend time with the other boys and experiments with boundaries. He seeks out a research assistant to toy with and hangs out with the teenagers who play football in the reception center's outdoor area. Salem is a proud member of the football club City Pirates, who make football accessible for vulnerable children and youngsters. City Pirates also offer a variety of other learning environments: dance and hip-hop classes, homework coaching, a music studio. The children living in the reception center can always partake in the recreational groups of the Pirates. However, since refugee families don't always stay for clearly delineated periods, due to national regulations and continuity issues, the children cannot register for competitive groups. And Salem really loves football. In an interview for the Flemish Youth Channel, he shows his skills and says, "When I play football, I forget about my problems. I just play."
Als ik voetbal speel, dan vergeet ik alles. Ik denk niet na dat ik een probleem heb. Ik speel het gewoon. Ik vind dat leuk.
In conclusion, then, what can we say about the children's agency and about the learning opportunities they perceive? Both children are on the brink of adolescence and live in the reception center. Both have social, cognitive, sportive, and artistic interests and perceive many learning opportunities in the world that surrounds them. But although their learning opportunities are different and not always accessible to the extent they desire, they receive support from the professional network that surrounds them and are resourceful enough to find solutions themselves. Maisa seems to be losing connection with formally required schoolwork and platforms, but negotiates and to a certain extent finds access to the musical learning opportunities she craves. Salem cannot compete for the football club he is so proud of and seems to have outgrown primary school requirements. But he seeks mathematical and logical challenges elsewhere and competes with the teenagers in the reception center, learning and practicing new techniques on his own accord. It leaves us to wonder what they could accomplish if they had even better access to a wider variety of activities.
천진 나만 청순 가련 새침 한척 이젠 지쳤나 귀찮아 매일 뭐해 어디야 밥은 잘자 baby 자기 여보 보고 싶어 다 부질없어 You got me like 이건 아무 감정 없는 love story 어떤 설렘도 어떤 의미도